Okay, I am here with the director of Self-Driven, Michael Piero. Welcome to Grimfest.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for, yeah.
So your film screens in roughly about an hour's time.
Yeah.
So
I'm excited, nervous. It'll be the third time I've seen it with an audience, and I'm thrilled to see what the Manchester audience thinks of it.
So what are them experiences like? You'd like to say, obviously, there's a bit of a mix of emotions, but obviously, with it being something that's quite personal to you, then, you know, how does it feel?
Well, I guess the first screening I had, I was terrified because I had no idea what an audience was going to think of it. And so, you know, there's a fear that the things that I think made it a good film didn't work, but now I feel like I'm able to relax a little bit more because I've gotten that out of my system, and now I'm just excited to feel the energy and see what like this audience responds to. Each one has been a little bit different and had like connected to different parts of the film in different ways, and so I'm excited to see what this audience finds the most interesting about the movie.
Yeah, and on that point as well, I was having a conversation with someone earlier, and we were trying to, because it's easy at a film festival almost like try to pigeonhole things into genre, but we couldn't really place Self-Driven in terms of a particular genre. So where do you think it sits?
Yeah, I think it's a thriller for sure, but I didn't want to make a conventional thriller. And I'm like, as a director and a storyteller, I'm interested in characters and like building a world, and so that I wanted to make a thriller set in this like very strange world with these interesting characters. And also I think like I like a goofy, funny, strange comedy, and so when we were making it, I was realizing like there's a lot of that to be had in this world, and so finding places for humor and just sort of mixing it into this strange little thing felt like the right approach. I don't know.
Yeah, because there's moments in the film, I've never been like, you know, a cab driver, a taxi driver or whatever, but I can imagine it's quite a difficult job, and we see almost like in that montage of things that start to go wrong, and you're just thinking, what's going to be his breaking point almost?
Yeah,
which I thought was really fun to kind of explore.
Those scenes were the most fun to shoot because like almost everyone in the back for that montage was just friends of ours that we'd get to come out and like, my only direction to them was like, make his life hell. Just be as annoying as you can be behind him, and we should have captured the best moments of that and cut it into this montage just to portray this character as the most desperate, most broken person we could.
Yeah, and do you think that's that kind of job, that kind of, it's effectively a customer service job. It's kind of probably one of the most non-rewarding, I think, is the best thing I can kind of.
Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine. I hate driving around in traffic. It's like a nightmare of mine is just being stuck in traffic. So I can't imagine having to do that while like for money, and then dealing with strangers who are annoyed with you because you're not like getting them where they want to be fast enough. I think there's like a lot of pressure in that world, and it felt ripe for exploration.
Yeah, because we haven't seen many films that kind of explore that. Because obviously we're in like, for lack of a better term, almost like the age of Uber, where there's this kind of automated system effectively when you can get like transport. So is there a bit of a commentary on that as well?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I think the thing that I was most interested in exploring was just on a sort of macro level was just the automation of human labor, and like, you know, as our competition in like automated things and like AI and just like machines in general get better and better and better, we're competing against them for jobs, and so then it forces humans to become more automated in a way and like behave more automated, and exploring that idea in a way that's entertaining was, I guess, the thing I wanted to try and do with this film.
Yeah. And what were your conversations with Nathaniel about the character of Dee then? What did you want him to kind of convey on screen?
I think the main thing was just sort of desperation and like finding a way to humanize this. Like on the page, I think he's a very blank character. The script, we like very intentionally left him sort of vague. Like we hint at a life outside of the car, but we never show it. And so we don't get a sense of like who this guy really is. And so Nathaniel's big job was to take what little is like given about the character in terms of facts and turn that into a character that feels human and feels like a real person and not like sort of a flat two-dimensional character. And I think I'm very proud of the work he did doing that.
Yeah, and I also, you can kind of almost surmise as well about things like, if you want to read a bit further, you can say about capitalism and the desperation of people to kind of maybe go down these paths that they wouldn't ordinarily choose in times of desperation, like you mentioned before.
Yeah, and I think I think we're all sort of compromised by capitalism in a way when, like, ordering from Uber or like taking a ride on Uber, ordering from Uber Eats, buying things from Amazon, the convenience factor is so high, it's so tempting to take these things and not really think about the humans behind the convenience. We don't like the sort of the automation of it and the glossiness of the app itself allow you to ignore the fact that there actually is a human you're interacting with, whether or not it's like in front of the car or driving your stuff to you or packing the box of your Amazon items that you're expecting to show up within a couple hours. Like, there's humans involved in all of this, but it's so easy for us to pretend they don't exist or forget they exist because we're presented with this, like, the sheen of technology.
And one thing I wanted to ask, just from a purely technical point of view, is how you what's it like to film in effectively a driving movie, because I can imagine that the technicalities of it are quite complex.
Yeah, it was, I think it was a challenge to figure out the systems we used to set it up. We shot it on these very tiny cameras. Actually, I think I brought it. Yeah, so this is the camera we shot the entire movie on.
Oh, wow.
We had 2 of these running, and then they output like a very high quality signal, so we could record to these sort of hard drive recorders. And so we had like rigging that we could put these almost anywhere in the car, and because they're so small and so lightweight, we could drive around as normal. And we had these, a couple lights just to augment the light from coming in from outside, and then we ran 4 or 5 microphones in the car to get the different characters. And so setting that up every day was the technical challenge. But once we figured that system out and we were sort of on a roll, it was easy to keep replicating that, and then we would just drive around the city. So it became, the first few days were definitely like figuring out the kinks in our plan. But once it sort of came together and it became easier and easier, and we sort of got on a roll.
And you filmed in Canada, didn't you?
Yeah, we shot in Toronto, just driving around. We'd meet at like sunset every night and drive around until sun up, driving around like downtown Toronto. We'd try, each scene I wanted to set in a slightly different part of the city to get a sense of like the whole vibe of the city at night. So we started in like industrial areas and then worked our way downtown and then end up in the sort of the nightclub district and just try and get a sense of the scope of the whole city at night.
Okay, and finally, what's your next project? Are you going to kind of stick with it, kind of almost like, in genre, or are you going to explore different areas?
Yeah, I think I have a lot of ideas. I love working in the genre space, or like like you said, it's not like quite exactly a thriller. And I think all my ideas are that way, and that they have sort of the trappings of a thriller, but they explore different ideas, and they have, interesting characters are the thing that attract me the most. So I've got 3 or 4 ideas that I'm brewing and trying to figure out what I want to do, but they're all, I'd say, like thematically similar, talking about like labor and, the plight of the working man in different ways.
Okay, that's great. Thank you, Michael.
Thank you so much.